I mean, I want to win the race, and I want to win that way the championship, and not by any kind of accident.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the greatest instances of payback between teams, athletes, managers, and more.
Well, what do they say about hindsight? It's 2020, right? Yeah. You never know.
Number 10, Dirk Nowitzki versus the Miami Heat. The 2006 NBA Finals saw Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks fall short against the Miami Heat, with the Heat taking home 4 wins across 6 games to seal the deal.
Terry puts it up. Won't go. Way to hold on. And the Miami Heat are champions of the basketball world.
5 grueling years of patience would eventually lead Nowitzki and the Mavs right back to the exact same position. This time, the Heat's new superstar LeBron James looked poised to see off Nowitzki's challenge and establish himself as a title winner for the first time.
After 5 years of waiting, 5 long years of waiting, the Dallas Mavericks are in the NBA Finals. Of course, sitting on the other side, it could only be this way, the Miami Heat.
But despite dropping 2 out of the first 3 games, Nowitzki would lead the Mavs to 3 straight victories, earning his long-awaited revenge and maintaining LeBron's status as the king without a ring, at least for a while.
The Mavericks have scaled the NBA playoff mountain and have planted their flag. They are the NBA champions for 2010-2011.
Number 9, Steve Sullivan versus Fan. If you're looking for karma in its purest form, it doesn't really get better than Chicago Blackhawks player Steve Sullivan's hilarious interaction with this fan.
Can you walk us through that night in Denver a couple years back when you had that little run-in with the fan?
Yeah, we were playing against Colorado, and I think it was Alex Tanguay tried to turn around and ice the puck. I think we were on the power play, and clipped me with a high stick.
Upon getting caught with a high stick that hit him directly on the nose, Sullivan was sent back to the bench with a cut on his nose, but not before a heckler decided to mock him and his injury.
I just thought, when there's a player's hurt, that you just, common courtesy, you just be quiet.
And Sullivan definitely noticed. There's no doubt about it. You couldn't miss it. Later in the game, when opposition player Patrick Waugh sent a puck flying into the crowd, somehow, some way, it ended up hitting that very same fan in the face. Once Sullivan was alerted to this fact, he quickly skated over and gave him a taste of his medicine.
Took it upon myself to go back and tell him a few words of my own, and I think his girlfriend thought it was pretty funny also.
Number 8, Alain Prost versus Ayrton Senna. This is a story of 2 separate championships featuring the great F1 rivals Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna.
Wouldn't be unreasonable to say that they hate each other.
Though once teammates, their competitive feud became very public. And in 1989, while neck and neck for championship glory, Prost seemingly intentionally crashed into Senna in order to stop him from scoring a much-needed win.
This is the opportunity that Senna's looking for, and he's going through. Out! Oh my goodness, this is fantastic! This is what we were fearing might happen during the race. And that means to say that Prost has won the World Championship.
This led Prost to securing the title. In the following year, tensions were high between both men, but this time, in an almost mirror situation, Senna would be the one to crash Prost, winning the title for himself in the process. Call it dirty tactics or simply bending the rules to your aims, but it clearly worked.
Their collision meant the 1990 championship was Senna's, but the incident left a bitter taste throughout the sport.
Number 7, the Chicago Bulls versus the Bad Boy Pistons. In the 1980s, the Chicago Bulls had not yet developed into the trailblazing force they were in the 90s.
And they went as far as they could go, but midnight has struck for the Bulls.
The main reason? The Detroit Pistons, a hard-nosed and gritty group of players known as the Bad Boy Pistons. On 3 different occasions, in 88, 89, and 90, the Pistons dominated Michael Jordan and the Bulls, famously implementing the now legendary Jordan rules to physically stifle MJ's game.
We fought hard. They were the better team. We went to a 7-game series. What more can we ask for? We want to be where they are, but we still got to win our turn. We're still trying to improve our team. They were the better team, and they played better today.
But you could only keep a player like Jordan down for so long, and in 1991, With him now ready to take the world by storm, he led the Bulls to a 4-0 sweep in the Eastern Conference Finals, destroying the bad boy Pistons and eventually winning his first of 6 titles by beating the Lakers in their next matchup.
And the Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship.
Number 6. Luis Suarez versus the football gods. Some players will go to truly great lengths to lead their side to victory.
Wherever Luis Suarez goes, something seems to happen.
In 2010, when Luis Suarez found himself on the goal line defending against an incoming Ghana attack, he used his hands like a makeshift goalkeeper as the last line of defense. This, of course, was totally illegal, and Suarez was sent off. But the damage was done.
Gian has the opportunity to send Ghana into the semi-finals of the World Cup, and he hits the bar! Unbelievable.
Ghana went from being denied a clear goal to then missing a penalty. People were furious, but karma didn't come around until 4 years later, when Suarez was involved in a bizarre biting incident. Not his first one either, where he bit the shoulder of Italian player Giorgio Chiellini. Suarez received a huge 9-game ban from all international competition, effective immediately.
There are things that happen. You should not make such a big deal out of them.
Number 5. Tom Brady versus New England. Letting a player like the great Tom Brady go is always going to come back to bite you.
If Tom Brady just decided to retire, that would have been different. Tom Brady decided he wants to play, but moving on from the New England Patriots is a direct indictment against Bill Belichick, no matter what way you slice it.
Upon being cut by New England Patriots coach Bill Belichick, Brady, who was now 44, joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in hopes of squeezing one last drop of football greatness out of himself before retirement.
For Tom Brady, it was ultimately about getting some sunshine and throwing some touchdowns.
However, what Belichick likely didn't expect was that Brady would return to New England with a strong performance to beat his own former team, before then going on to add yet another Super Bowl championship to his resume. Brady proved that age is just a number, and any coach who doubted his ability to produce the goods was undeniably foolish.
We set a standard for ourselves. We set a standard for the organization about what winning takes.
Number 4. James Buster Douglas versus Mike Tyson. The odds of Buster Douglas beating the surging heavyweight champion Mike Tyson were so long that many Las Vegas bookmakers weren't even accepting bets for the fight.
I think, David, to the extent that people know anything about this fight, you're right. They think of it as Mike Tyson lost rather than Buster Douglas winning.
Tyson and his team were so confident that they would defeat his challenger that they didn't even bring adequate supplies to their corner on fight night to deal with any potential cuts or swelling. Tyson's hubris was off the charts. So when a supremely motivated and locked-in Douglas went out there and put a pace on Iron Mike, the world was shocked.
And a lot of ringside observers didn't expect the fight to go this far. It should be pointed out that stamina has been a problem for Buster Douglas throughout his career.
And when he laid Tyson out in the 10th round to steal his belts, it was immediately declared the biggest upset in boxing history, and a terrible case of underestimating your opponent from Tyson and his team.
This makes Cinderella look like a sad story, what Buster Douglas has done here tonight.
Number 3. The New York Yankees versus the Boston Red Sox. The curse of the Bambino was cited as a supernatural explanation for a championship drought that saw the Boston Red Sox fail to win a World Series title between 1918 and 2004.
The curse of the Bambino started. The Red Sox sold Babe Ruth to the Yankees for $100,000. Ruth, of course, won 4 World Series with the Yanks, hit 659 home runs with them. It took the Red Sox 86 years to win their next World Series.
Trading Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees was seen as the catalyst for this bizarre run of form. During this 8-decade spell, the Red Sox contended for 4 World Series championships, but came up short each time. But in 2004, the Red Sox found themselves 3-0 down to the Yankees in the ALCS, needing 4 straight wins to advance to the World Series.
And this ALCS will live on for Game 5 later tonight.
In a truly shocking comeback, they pulled off the unthinkable, securing their place in the World Series. which they eventually won, breaking the curse once and for all, while also sticking it to their great rivals.
Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Number 2, Patrick Waugh versus the Montreal Canadiens. In the middle of a truly poor performance against the Detroit Red Wings, Montreal Canadiens goalie Patrick Waugh expected his coach to pull him out of the game and let him regroup.
Patrick Waugh has absolutely no chance on this play, but Patrick Waugh is going to have to adapt to the way this big line is playing for the Wings. You have to stay on your feet. They're passing it so much that Patrick Waugh is overcommitting as he does here.
It's a pretty common thing to do, and yet Canadiens coach Mario Tremblay didn't sub him out, instead leaving him in there to embarrass himself by conceding 9 goals. Waugh took this to heart and requested a trade immediately.
Patrick Waugh just went over and said something to Corey, and I'm not so sure what it was, but he went right to him. That'll be even more of a story tomorrow.
Upon signing for the Colorado Avalanche, his noteworthy return to Montreal came when he helped his team to a dominant win over Tremblay's Canadiens, leading to Montreal's fans booing their own coach for his dim-witted decision. The best part? Tremblay was forced to sub out Waugh's own goalie replacement in that very same game.
Thibault is going to be pulled. Theodore is going to come in.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Conor McGregor. After enduring insults from McGregor, Nurmagomedov forces McGregor to tap out.
There's the tap! Still undisputed! Khabib Nurmagomedov has finished Conor McGregor tonight!
Muhammad Ali versus Leon Spinks II. A 36-year-old Ali dominates their rematch to become the first 3-time heavyweight champion.
The new champion, Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, the new champion.
Terrell Owens versus the Dallas Cowboys. Owens gets the last laugh with his touchdown celebration on the Cowboys logo.
To the star. He's going to the star. Do it again. Oh, and somebody's coming over to tackle him. Look at this. George T goes over. I don't blame T for doing that. Oh, man. I have never seen anything like that.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Michael Schumacher versus Jacques Villeneuve. The ruthless competitor that was Michael Schumacher was on full display when he entered his title-deciding race for the 1997 F1 World Championship at Jerez.
In 1997, the fresh-faced son of F1 legend Gilles Villeneuve was on the verge of winning the World Championship in only his second season in Formula One.
Neck and neck with his rival Jacques Villeneuve, unbeknownst to us all, Schumacher was having difficulty with his car, making it uncertain if he would be able to finish this crucial race. So what did he do? Well, in 1994, a suspicious crash into Damon Hill helped him seal championship glory.
I was aware, like everybody else, on how we had won a few other championships, mainly against Damon, by putting Damon in the wall.
To this day, people debate whether Schumacher intentionally caused it. However, this time, in 1997, it seemed a lot less ambiguous. Schumacher purposely collided with Villeneuve, but all he ended up doing was ruin his own vehicle. Plus, he got disqualified from the podium for his troubles.
Because he's the one who got stuck, and you could see he was flustered because then he went into the gravel trap, and instead of staying on the grass, he somehow went to neutral, stalled it, got stuck. And the next lap, when I drove by the corner, I saw him on the wall with his hands on his hips, and I remember I could see his face and his anger.
Karma at its finest, folks. What's your favorite karmic revenge moment? Let us know in the comments.
For the first time in franchise history, the Dallas Mavericks have won the NBA championship. And the MVP of this series, Dirk Nowitzki.